What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. I just want to focus in on Brad Treliving being named the new general manager of the Calgary Flames. Brian Burke was kind of doing it in the interim in between Jay Feaster getting fired back in December, and Treliving coming in and assistant GM of the Phoenix Coyotes. They've really drafted well, and they have a good team that's on a shoestring budget, and a lot of the credit that. That the success they've had comes back to him. And, Don Maloney gave the Flames a grace period to talk to him, negotiate a deal, and, they did that. And, I think it was a good move by Calgary. Calgary, a year ago, I thought had probably the worst prospect system in hockey, but they've definitely, or 2 years ago was unquestionably the worst. But you look at the guys that they drafted last year. I mean, I like, obviously, Sean Monahan. He played for the Ottawa 67s. Now he plays for the Calgary Flames. That was my boring Sean Monahan, at boring Sean Monahan on Twitter impression. And, I like Portier. I thought they took him a little bit high, but he had a great year this year. And he looks like he's a solid prospect. And obviously, Morgan Klimchuk, I've talked about ad nauseum. I've interviewed him. Nice kid, a hell of a hockey player. And, I think he's going to do some big things next year with their giant Pats of the Western Hockey League. But I look at what they've got going forward, and they acquired picks. They were in a good position. They'll have a top 5, top 6 pick this year. I think it's the 5th overall pick off the top of my head, and I think that they'll be relevant going forward. I mean, they're in a rebuilding phase, but at least they have direction now. Whereas opposed to, I thought a couple years ago, they were a complete lost cause. They didn't know what they were doing. They essentially they were the Edmonton Oilers, but they weren't bottoming out. They'd finish with the 5th or 6th pick and not the 1st or 2nd pick. And, that's kind of... They have the 4th pick in the draft. I think they'll take Michael Dalcol out of the Oshawa Generals. But, I think coming in, this is a pretty good gig to have because they've... I thought they held on with Ginla too long. I thought they should have moved to Ginla a few years earlier. But, hindsight's 2020. You have to do what you have to do to put a relevant and competitive team on the ice. And I think that... given the young prospects they had, given the young players, I think Sven Barchi will continue to develop. I think John Gillies of Providence College will be a capable number 1 goalie in the NHL going forward. I think he made a kind of wise decision going back to PC next year as a junior, getting the 3 years of college hockey in, and I think he's a legitimate prospect. I think Pat Seeloff will be a player. I know he pretty much missed all of this season, but I can't, I can't see him completely losing it. I mean, only played 2 games this year, but I think he's going to be a key part of, the Calgary Flames rebuild going forward. Another guy I've interviewed. So it should be better days are ahead in Calgary. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Calgary Flames naming Brad Treliving their new general manager. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.